He didn't just defeat his enemies, he erased them. Cities burned for days. Rivers reportedly ran red. Entire civilizations vanished from history. Some call him a military genius. Others call him the greatest mass killer of all time. But the truth is far more disturbing. Because what made him powerful wasn't just his army. This is the story of the most ruthless conqueror in history, Genghis Khan. And what he did changed the world forever. History is not just wars. It is ideas, leaders, and moments that change the world. This is timeless legacy. Before the empire, before the slaughter, there was a boy named Temüjin. He was born into the harsh Mongolian steppes in 1162. His father was poisoned by a rival tribe. His family was abandoned, left to starve. At just 10 years old, he witnessed betrayal, hunger, powerlessness. And then something happened that changed him forever. In a fight over food, Temüjin killed his own half-brother. Not out of rage, out of survival. From that moment on, he understood something most men never learn. The world respects power, and it punishes weakness. Temüjin began gathering followers, but he didn't promise comfort. He promised loyalty, or death. He broke tribal hierarchies, promoted warriors based on skill, not birth. That made him dangerous. When tribes resisted, he made examples of them. In one campaign, after defeating the Tatars, he reportedly ordered the execution of every male taller than a cartwheel. Think about that. That wasn't revenge. It was elimination of future threats. This is Nomos 1206. After years of bloodshed, he united the Mongol tribes. It was from the moment pure intelligence. He took a new name, Genghis Khan, universal ruler. The conquest of the world had begun. Most conquerors want tribute. Genghis Khan wanted submission. If a city surrendered, it was spared. If it resisted, it disappeared. During the invasion of Khwarezmia, after a trade caravan was executed by a local governor, Genghis Khan responded with overwhelming force. City after city was destroyed. In Nishapur, historical accounts claim so many people were killed that pyramids of skulls were built. In Merv, estimates suggest hundreds of thousands were executed. One thing is clear: the destruction was systematic, calculated, intentional. He understood something terrifying. If one city is annihilated publicly, 10 others will surrender quietly. Fear became faster than his cavalry. But the speed of the Mongol army wasn't an accident. It was a system. Each Mongol warrior didn't ride just one horse. He rode several, 3, sometimes 5 horses traveled with every rider. When one horse grew tired, the warrior simply switched to another, allowing the army to keep moving without stopping. This meant Mongol cavalry could travel 80 to 100 kilometers in a single day, at a time when most medieval armies struggled to march even 30. But speed alone wasn't the secret. Mongol riders carried dried meat and fermented mare's milk, food that could last for weeks. They slept in the saddle, navigated by the stars, and could fire arrows accurately while riding at full speed. To their enemies, they didn't just arrive quickly. They appeared almost out of nowhere, and by the time a city realized the Mongols were coming, it was already too late. Genghis Khan wasn't chaos without structure. He created laws, the Yassa Code. The Yassa was a strict code that demanded discipline across the empire. Theft, betrayal, and desertion were punishable by death. Soldiers were forbidden from looting without permission, keeping the army under control even during conquest. Diplomats and merchants were granted protection, ensuring safe passage across Mongol lands. These rules turned scattered tribal warriors into a highly organized and disciplined military machine. He promoted religious tolerance. Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, all were allowed to worship freely. He secured trade routes, especially along the great caravan routes of Central Asia, linking northern China, Mongolia, Persia, and the Middle East. Major Silk Road cities, such as Samarkand and Bukhara, became protected hubs of trade under Mongol control. Protected merchants connected east and west through the Silk Road. Goods, ideas, technology. They spread faster than ever before. Paper currency, gunpowder, cultural exchange. He built stability on top of destruction, which raises a disturbing question. Can someone be both a destroyer and substroyer and peer in the invested? Let's return to the numbers. Historians estimate up to 40 million people may have died during Mongol conquests. That could have been nearly 10% of the world's population at the time. Entire regions were so depopulated that forests regrew over abandoned farmland. Some scientists even suggest the massive drop in population may have temporarily reduced global carbon levels. Let's be clear. His campaigns reshaped civilizations. Entire cultures were forever altered. The destruction was immense. But at its height, the Mongol Empire became the largest contiguous land empire in human history, stretching from China to Eastern Europe, all forged by a man who once hunted for survival as an abandoned child. Genghis Khan died in 1227. The exact cause remains uncertain, but his legacy didn't disappear. His descendants ruled vast territories for generations. Trade routes flourished, borders shifted, and even today, genetic studies suggest that millions may share his lineage. Feared, respected, debated, nearly 8 centuries later, we are still telling his story. And perhaps that is the greatest conquest of all. Subscribe to Timeless Legacy, because history is never as innocent as it seems.